All right, you guys. So I'm hopping on right now because the S&P 500 was just about to push over 3,400, which would have been right through the old resistance and all-time highs of back in March. And then out of nowhere, we get news that Trump says he's calling off stimulus negotiations with Democrats until after the election, and the stock market, I wouldn't say tanked, but we were up 0.5% and we dumped right around 2% in almost an hour and a half going into close. So let's take a look at the news. Trump says he's calling off stimulus negotiations until with the Democrats until after the election. So if you guys don't know, essentially they're trying to get a second stimulus bill passed to get money into the hand of Americans. Democrats want too much money. Republicans want to lower that amount. I'm not going to get political here. I'm not going to say which is which and which is right and whatever. We're just going to look at actually what's happening in the market right now and kind of where I see things going. So we can see President Trump, the good old pop-ups, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, actually, here we go. President Trump said he instructed his admission negotiations to stop the coronavirus negotiations with Democrats until after November 3rd. So if you guys haven't been in the loop, Stephen Mnuchin, which I believe is head secretary for Trump, and Nancy Pelosi met on Monday. They talked a little bit for like an hour, and they kind of walked away without saying anything. Trump got released from the hospital, obviously, and now he's, just back at it. House Speaker Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin had talked in recent days. The economy is still struggling under the weight of the whole Rona situation, as millions of Americans have not returned to work. The declaration halts an ongoing push to send trillions of dollars of more relief money in the relief of Americans as outbreak rampages through the United States as the economy struggles to make a recover from the related shutdowns. Trump said, quote, "I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election, when immediately after we win, we will pass a major stimulus bill. They'll focus on the hardworking Americans and small businesses," that Trump tweeted on Tuesday. All right, I just want to start this by saying this goes to show you, number one, just how freaking weak the stock market is. I mean, even though we're just keep pushing up higher and higher and higher, like we're getting into bubble territory right now. Like when a quick little tweet from Trump, and it is 2020. I understand it's not like it was 15 years ago. Presidents can tweet, important people can tweet. It's kind of a problem in my opinion, but for instance, like, all it takes is for Trump to tweet that, and out of nowhere, stock market starts to take a tailspin. And we get these specific words from Trump. "I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election. Immediately after I win, I will pass a major stimulus bill," essentially just holding the stock market hostage. And not only the stock market, but the American citizens hostage. Hoping that, if you go ahead and vote for me, I will give you a massive stimulus bill, working with the hardworking Americans, which is his basic average go-to supporter. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy the fact that like we're doing these things where we're holding the American public hostage. Not just Trump. Like, you got to realize that I'm not a Trump fan. I definitely align more conservative. But it's not just him. It's everybody. Like, this entire system is flawed, and I'm not going to get into the political system and how flawed it is right now. I could do that in a different video, but it's just crazy, guys. And the stock market has taken a hit today. I swore that he was going to put get some sort of stimulus in place before the election in hopes to not only help America, but to get a little more votes in his pocket. But now he's like kind of going to extremes, I think, because as well, Joe Biden is ahead in the polls, which is kind of weird because not weird that Joe Biden's ahead, but it's kind of weird because I'm surprised the market hasn't been taking more of a hit with Joe Biden, looking like he's probably going to take this, simply because the market doesn't really want Joe Biden in. The whole raising capital gains tax, the whole raising corporate taxes, overall, the market doesn't really want Biden in. Things could be changing, but, in other news too, we also said Jerome Powell, who's the Fed chair head, calls for more help from Congress, saying there's a low risk of overdoing it. The whole joke that, Jay Powell wants his money printer to go burr. We're just in a weird part of the market, guys. We're in this weird tensional area, and I I'll put this down for a second because I kind of want to talk, and then we'll look at the actual market, see how it is, what are some support levels, some areas to watch. But I don't know, it's weird. If you're somebody who's been watching me for the past year, or if you're somebody who's new and you're just new to the market, this is not how the market is. This is not how things are supposed to go. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who are going to get screwed are going to be the good people, the people who just get into the market, the people who think that this is how everything is and the market just goes up. And that's not how it is. A lot of people think that making money is just so easy now, and it's not. Right? It will come crashing down at some point. I made a video back in November of 2019, and it's called let me look it up. Peter DiCarlo, SPY puts. It was called My March 2020 SPY puts. Let's see if I can find it. Actually, I might have gotten rid of it. I don't know. I'll have to find it, but I titled a video called My SPY puts March 2020, and it's nuts because it hit perfectly. In March, I didn't know the whole Rona was going to happen, but it was pretty easy for me to call out and to see the fact that, the market is crazy right now. This is not how things are supposed to be. We have presidents tweeting. We have, even look at somebody like Elon Musk. He can go ahead and tweet, and the entire market can fade. It's pretty crazy, guys. It's not how the market is supposed to be. It's really not how investing or even trading is, and yet we still continue to see this. We continue to see the market go up. We continue to see the economy not doing well, and we continue to see a push and a need and a want for the market to get more stimulus in the hands of the people, and for everyone to just continue to kick the can down the road until more and more people start going back to work and more traveling starts to happen. So this was the video. I think I don't know, maybe I changed it, but in this video, if you want to watch it, it's titled SPY Put Strategy. I talk about March 2020 SPY puts and this big ascending wedge that I was watching at the time. So the biggest thing that I can tell you guys, and to give you a little bit of a heads up going into the election, going into the next couple weeks, number one is, if you're a trader, you do not have to trade. You literally can just sit out. You can sell all your positions. Yes, you might miss a big chance to make a ton of money, but you could just sit out, right? We're 29 days away from the election. You can just sit out. You can just not trade, right? If you're an investor and you're a long-term investor and you have some positions, go ahead and put a small hedge on, or just hold your positions. If you're planning to get in long-term and you're planning to hold for the next 5 years, who cares, right? Just hold on to your positions. It's not a big deal. But if you're somebody who's going to try to ride this market wave over the next couple months and make money every single time the market dips, I'm telling you, you might be right. And the market might continue to just keep going up. It really might be a V-shaped recovery. If Trump gets back into presidency after this, we could have a huge stimulus that could push the market up. We could have a vaccination that could come out much sooner than a lot of leading doctors say, and the market could continue to push, right? Or we could get Joe Biden in as president and the market could continue to push, or maybe it all falls, who knows? But one thing I just want you guys to realize and to take away from this video is that at any time the market can fade, and it can be off of really, the market is built on a glass foundation. I explain it to my students all the time. If you do want to join our academy, we're running a code for 90% off your first month. You can join us for $10. I'll put the link down below. You can use the code 90OFF. I'll put that down there below. We got 55 hours of courses and lectures. I go live like this every single morning with them. I go over what I'm trading, why I'm trading it. But something I tell them is you need to have cash on the side. You need to, at least 40% cash on the side. Luckily today, I was running, you probably can't see, it's not going to tell you how much I actually made, but here, Visa, I made $107. I really made, I want to say it was 300, but it doesn't say that because I had the position closed today. In my other portfolio, I had some TTWO calls. I sold half yesterday because I just wanted to get out because I don't trust the market. If you're in the academy, I've been talking for a while, don't trust the market. I sold some of those. I do have some CRM calls, which I still have, but the majority is that I have most of my money out of the market, and I've really been wanting to stay away, even though I see a lot of opportunity. I've been wanting to stay away from putting too much money in the market. one question I get from a lot of students is like, you have more than enough money to open all of these positions. Why are you selling positions to buy other positions? And it's because while I still have the money to just open as many positions as I want, I don't want to have that much money in the market, because you can see at any time, right? There are probably people who went to go take a poop today or went to a meeting, or like, dude, I was installing shelves and I come back and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Right? Like the whole market's dying. Oh, okay. Yeah. Trump, he's not going to push a stimulus bill. He's holding the market hostage. Like, that kind of stuff happens. And it's not right. I don't think that a president should be able to, it's weird, right? Because you have like the freedom, you should have your right to say whatever you want. But then again, you have somebody who can just manipulate the market. You have someone like Elon Musk, who before has just tweeted like, I'm going to take the company private, or, Tesla stock is overvalued, like that kind of crazy stuff. So the big takeaway from this, if you're, number one, and we're going to look into support and resistance lines and what you should be looking at and stuff, but the big takeaway for me right now, to just kind of give to you guys before we get into some technicals, is that if you do not like this much volatility, sell, walk away, come back in a month, right? If you are going to hang out through all this and you're going to roll with the punches, get ready to maybe see your account go down pretty badly. Make sure you put, if you have a long-term portfolio, maybe some hedging in place. I can do a video on teaching you guys how to hedge a long-term, and just get ready for a wild ride, right? Right now you can see the S&P 500 futures I have up here on the screen. I'm going to go to a weekly chart, which is the past 3 years. I usually trade off of a daily, but I just want to kind of show you the past 3 years, kind of how everything has been moving. You can see here, obviously this was February. Hold on, what's going on here? Okay, there we go. Back here, this was February of last year. This is right before the whole Rona situation kind of started, and we were approaching all-time highs on the S&P 500, which at the time was 3,400. As soon as that happened, we had this big sell-off. Obviously, the rest is history. Big pull down all the way down to 2,174, and really ever since then, we have not only recovered, but push up to all-time highs, well beyond all-time highs. So this blue trend line I have here is all-time highs at 3,400. Let's go to the daily chart. We pushed all the way up above it, came right back down, pulled back, held support, fell down, and then we started making what's called a descending wedge. So in technical analysis, this is essentially when we get lower highs, lower lows, until basically, like, kind of think of a pimple, and like this is your resistance line, this is your support line, and they're squeezing, gets to the head of the pimple, and you pop the nasty pus out, which was right along here. And you can see that ever since then we had a big pop. Now, major resistance for the S&P 500 was 3,400. Now look at how ironic this is, and I posted this in my training academy. 3,400, huge resistance point. And what happened as soon as the market hit 3,400? Now, I'm not saying that Trump is sitting there on his cell phone like, all right, the market hit 3,400, time to tank it. But it's just ironic how technicals intertwine with fundamentals, and as soon as the S&P 500 hits an overall gigantic support, Trump comes out and says, we're getting rid of this talks of, getting a stimulus deal done, and the market fades. Now we're at support. Next support, if we break this tomorrow on the S&P 500, is going to be 3,247. Or if you're looking at SPY, you just take one number off, so it'd be 3,240. 3,247. Or on the S&P 500, I can put this here. This is SPY. The support would be right around 334. Then again at 330, and then again at 325, and then 320 is kind of like the last line in the sand. So what is my strategy? What am I going to be doing? I'm still holding the positions that I have. I have my long terms, but as far as trades, I do have a lot of options that expire at the third week of November. Still holding those. To me, this is not a time to run to the hills and just, go cutting any position that I possibly have. If we start breaking major supports, I will probably start putting some sort of hedges in place against my options that I have, or just selling them entirely. And I'm going to keep money on the sideline. And the most important thing, I'm going to keep my cool. That's the best possible thing you can do, is keep your cool, because if you're emotional, you're not going to make rash decisions. So thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, comment down below. What are you doing? What do you think about this whole kind of holding the country hostage? What do you think about this election? I know that's a little crazy, but what do you think about everything that's going on right now? Let me know. Subscribe to this channel, guys. It really, really helps. And until next time, guys, peace.